everyone, it's Rachel, or I guess also known as Monkey Lady, which is what my channel name has turned into. But I am here. I'm so glad to start recording again. January is kind of be a slow month. January I'm gonna be filming a lot for February, and so February it'll be nice because there'll be a lot going up, but this month not so much. I have one more art video to put up that I'm collabing with some really great people and friends. And that will probably be my last art, drawing, painting video for a while. And I've talked about this in previous videos. I'm trying to remember which video. It was a life update video in November, I think. But I will definitely link that if you're interested in watching it. But my life updates haven't really changed a whole lot since then, but I'm kind of taking a step back from sharing so much of my art. It's something that I'm still pretty self-conscious about and something that I'm still developing. And when I do share it, I just don't want my channel to be speed paint, I guess is what I'm getting at. And that's what I feel like all I can really do to kind of share my art. It doesn't, like, making videos about my art doesn't spark any creativity in how I can film it or how I can make it interesting. And I want to make fun, interesting videos. I want to be excited about the videos I'm going to make. So when I do share my art, it's all going to be on my personal Instagram, if you're following me there. If not, and you want to check out my art more, do follow me there, because that's where majority of it will be posted from now on. We are coming into, now that we're in 2019, we're coming into gardening and prepping for gardening, and that's what majority of this year is going to be about. I did a small garden last year. It was my first time ever gardening, and I made a really small, comparatively, we're on 3/4 of an acre, and I did, I think it was like 15 feet by 40 feet or something like that of garden space. So very small, and I definitely want to up that this year. We want to do like farmers markets, and we want to provide produce for not only our family but for those in our community, and also for future things that I want to do, and I'll be talking about those in future videos, so stay tuned for that. So I am kind of in the middle of a cold, and so if you see cuts or jump cuts or anything like that, that's because I'm cutting out wiping my nose, I'm cutting out coughing and all of that. So I'm going to try to cut out as much of that as possible. But getting into gardening, I've been doing a lot of research, and most of my research is on these papers, or at least the research I need right at my fingertips. Now, what are on these papers? Well, some of this, I printed this from West Coast Seeds, and this is just a small list of, and this is for not exactly my area. This is for coastal British Columbia, but I picked an area because West Coast Seeds, that's all like a Canada-based seed company, but I picked going off of average first frost date and last frost date, and adjusted for my area. It's a very similar growing season, so I used this as like a jumping off point because it says when to start stuff inside, when to transplant it, when to direct sow and stuff. So that gave me a good jumping off point for that. And then I printed off every month, or most of the months. And this I'm going to be making, I like that there's a section for notes, and so I can make notes of observations or things I need to remember, but also on the calendar writing when I started something inside, when I need to transplant it and stuff like that, to just keep me on track. Because I have a lot of seeds, and you'll see that in a minute, but I have a lot of seeds and that are going in a lot of space, so I decided to be super duper organized about this. This is just lists of what are, these are just lists that I made myself of the seeds that I'm going to be planting, what's direct sow, what's transplant only, and how far do I need to plant these before frost. And this was even fall crops, which some of this I did do this last year. Like garlic, you have to plant in the fall to be able to get good garlic in the spring and stuff like that. So there's that. And then all these papers, nope, this one too, it looks like. No, okay. So all these papers are sketches that I've done. The kids and I went out and with a tape measure before it started snowing last year, and measured out where I want stuff and approximately how big and how long and where I can fit stuff. So that's so I sketched everything up with the dimensions and what's going to go where, and I've numbered or named each plot, and so I can be really detailed in my notes and on my calendar of, okay, cucumber seeds go to plot area B or whatever. So there's that, and this is just a list that I made of all the seeds that I, like, of all the plants that I'm planting, how many seeds, and so I knew how much and what I needed to buy. And then these are just papers. They're numbered. They're titled with the month and the year, and it says, you know, first week, start indoors, and it lists what I need to plant and what week. And then these are just like notes so that I can transfer it to the calendar. So that's all the papers that I've had from the research I've been doing. And I do recommend highly that don't just take what I'm saying of, oh, well, she's planting beets on this day, I'll plant beets on this day. Well, you live in a different zone, unless you're my neighbor. You live in a different zone and different climate. So when you can plant stuff is different from when I can. And we don't have a very long growing season. We're in Idaho. We're a zone, I believe, 6A, if I remember off the top of my head. So we have a decently short, it's about 110 to 125 days growing season. So there's a lot of stuff that we can't grow in that maybe you can where you are. So I definitely urge anyone who wants to try gardening, do your research, figure out what zone you are. USDA has a great website where you put in your area code and it tells you what zone you're in. And then you can take that and do research on what you think you might want to grow, and then you look up those seeds, and most websites that have those seeds will list what zones those are okay to grow in. And then you go from, you don't want to plant anything direct sow or put anything in the ground until after the last frost. If you plant tender plants and like transplant them before the last frost, they will just die. They will just get frost eaten. And then also something that I've seen happen to friends and family in the past is we've been past our last frost date, so transplanted or planted things, stuff started growing, and then all of a sudden you get this late frost and all their stuff died because they weren't paying attention to the weather. So there's a lot that you should look at. Like once you start gardening, you really should pay really close attention to the weather, and if there's going to be a random night that goes down to 32 or below or something, and stuff freezing points 32 Fahrenheit, 32 degrees Fahrenheit. So if it's at freezing point or below, then you want to look at covering your plants somehow and saving them so that they don't die. So just there's so much research for your specific area and what you can grow. And all the seeds that I'm going to be showing you in a minute, I will link the websites. I got them below. I think every seed packet says where they're from, but I'll definitely leave links of where I've gotten my seeds. And I did a lot of research. I talked to people and I tried my hardest to get stuff from reputable places. So I feel really comfortable with that, sharing that. And I tried my hardest to get mostly heirloom seeds so that I can try to save some of the seeds and lower my seed buying cost for next year and the years after. So I'm gonna change the angle and take you to my table and show you all the seeds that I got. All right, welcome to my table. So this is just the pumpkin seeds from the pumpkin seed saving video I did. So that's just those. These are for my radish seed saving video that I posted a while ago. And here's all the corn from my corn seed saving video. And here is just some leftover seeds from last year. As you can see, I bought these from the store. But if you're going to be growing a small garden, buying from the store might not be a bad idea. But for the quantity that I needed for how much I'm growing this year, it was better for me to buy from websites where I could buy larger quantities for a lower cost. So yes, these are last year's, and this year's are coming up. So here's what I got from Johnny's Seeds. Johnny's came highly recommended to me. So this is Cosmos. This is a flower, so I'll be starting this in February. This is a Chinese cabbage. I wanted to try growing a bunch of different cabbages. So this is a red Chinese cabbage. And this is a winter squash. And I got this because I need to grow this with a pumpkin I really wanted to grow. And it only grows really well next to Hubbard and Delicata. So, or no, not Delicata, kombucha. There we go. Am I saying that right? No. Wait. Not the fermented drink. What is it? Kombucha? Not kombucha. Kombucha is what you drink. Kombucha without an M? Is that how you say? Anyway, it's another pumpkin. So blue Hubbard and kombucha only grows with a certain pumpkin that I wanted to grow, and it'll pop up. So this is, I think this is a yellow pumpkin, if I remember right. I think this one's the yellow pumpkin. I wanted a large variety of pumpkins. Last year, pumpkins are all that I sold, and there was this really cute older couple that they do a huge pumpkin display for fall and Halloween, and they said that they love different pumpkins, and they said they would come back next year if I had a large variety. So for them, and just for fun, to see what grows and what doesn't, I got a bunch of different varieties. This is a mini daikon radish. I have been getting into fermenting, and that's definitely something else I'll be bringing up more as the stuff grows. But I bought this not necessarily to sell at a farmer's market because I don't know how well they'll sell here, but mainly for me, so that I could make a bunch of different ferments that I've been wanting to try. These are smaller, so you can make the Bachelor, I think that's what it's called, the Bachelor Radish Kimchi. So that's what that's for. And here's the, oh, kombucha, there we go, no M, kombucha. So here's the winter squash that also grows well with, and here's some blue corn that I wanted to grow. And I feel like I'm missing something because my pumpkins that should be there. Hold on a sec. That's right. So I had ordered those seeds from Johnny's so that they wouldn't possibly go out of stock while I waited for something else to come in stock. And I had bought a couple of others from Johnny's separately. So this is the squash. It wasn't ready until December something, like 5th or 6th. So I had to wait to order these, but these are my black pumpkins, also known as like apocalyptic pumpkins. I cannot pronounce that, so I'm not even going to try. But I'm so excited. I've never seen black pumpkins before. And I also I got radishes and some spinach because these are quick to grow, and I wanted to practice on something that I wouldn't be too sad if they didn't do well. But I wanted to try season extenders and start planting these in, because our last frost is like in middle or end of April to beginning of May, somewhere around there. So I'm going to try to plant these at the end of March, I believe, with what's called season extenders. They're basically covers for your rows. I'm gonna make a small amount and experiment. So they're like mini greenhouses basically, but just for a single row. And they should hopefully help these grow. Because the issue I'm running into is that farmer's market here starts the first Saturday in May. And that's around the time that the last frost is. So I'm not going to have anything matured to sell as far as produce goes. So I'm hoping with this experiment that I'll at least have radishes and spinach. I checked the grow days on these, 23 days and 26 days. I picked fast growing to experiment with so that they grow within a month, hopefully. And so I have something at the farmer's market. I'm also going to have other videos of things that I'm making to round out my booth while I wait for produce to grow. So those will be upcoming videos too. So anyway, get on to other ones. So these are from Baker Creek Heirloom Seeds. So my front is going to be mostly flowers, and I'm not going to be selling these, but these were my favorite flowers when I was a kid. I just remember when I was a kid, I would play with them and make their little dragon mouths open and shut and talk for them, and oh, I loved them. So I have some. My mom started for me last year, and I'm pretty sure that video went up about how I saved some seeds. So I saved some seeds, but I also bought some seeds to hopefully fill out that part of the front with just these because I love them so much and they bring me joy. And this is just a regular green romaine. It should be an easy lettuce to grow, and it should grow really well here. And of course, radishes. I wanted to try a couple of different varieties. So this is one. I think I got 2 of those packets. I have mostly regular orange carrots, but I've heard that these are amazing, and so I thought I might try to grow these and see how they grow here and try to save their seeds. They look really cool. I think the kids would get a kick out of the black or purple carrots. And this is a green. It's shiso leaf. And I know it's like a Korean thing. I really got into watching Mommy Tang. if you know who that is, she's a vegan mukbanger. And when I was pregnant with my last baby is when I found her, and I like watched her. I don't know why I really enjoyed watching her. Maybe because I was kind of lonely. I would watch her after the kids go to bed, and my husband was gone at basic training for military, and so I would just watch her and I'd feel happy, and she just brought joy and laughs, and I just enjoyed watching her while I was all alone after the kids went to bed. But anyway, I wanted to try growing these. I checked my for my area, and these should grow pretty well. But so this is an experiment. I highly doubt that these will really sell at the farmer's market, but you never know. I'm not going to plant a ton, maybe just enough for me in a small area. But anyway, and I'm going to be growing cucumbers, and I don't know, these really called my name. So these are cucumbers, they're dragon's egg, and if these grow really well, I might be, I'm laughing because it's a fun idea in my mind, and I don't know if I'll ever have the confidence in myself to do it. I might find someone else to model, but I had the idea of, if these grow really well, to do like a Game of Thrones themed photo shoot with these. But I don't have blonde hair, so I might have to find someone that does and just have her do it instead of me. But anyway, we'll see if that actually happens. But there's that, and these Spring Planting Festival. Oh, these were free seed. I didn't even notice that in here, and I had been going through these and looking at them. So apparently for my order, I got these for free. So that's fun. It's another variety. I don't know how many are in here. Probably a very small amount, like maybe 10. There's probably just like 10 in there. But I'll grow them and see, because I love tomatoes. We're growing 4 new varieties in addition to the other 2 varieties that I grew. So it's going to be a lot of tomatoes, so I'm excited. I'll plant these too. And then this is just red romaine lettuce. So I wanted a green romaine and a red romaine. I kind of planted around my personal tastes and what I thought was cool, and I really like red leaf lettuce. So if this doesn't sell, then I know I'll be eating super healthy this summer, right? But I'm also going to be doing succession planting, so I'm not going to plant all these seeds at once. I believe there's 250 in here. I don't remember. But I believe there's 250 in here. I'm not going to plant all 250 at one time. I'm going to do succession planting, where I plant a certain number of them every, I was trying to decide if it was going to be every 7 days or every 14 days. So I haven't completely decided that, but I will decide that soon. But these are direct sow, so I have a little bit of time to think about that. And on to my biggest order. So first, I guess my giant seeds. I have sugar baby watermelon. This is the only, I believe this is the only watermelon that I'm growing. I have a couple of, I have one other summer squash. I have one other melon that I'm going to be growing, but this is the only watermelon I'm growing. And then I have my delicata squash. These grew really well for me last year, and so I got more seeds because I didn't think to save seeds from those this year, unfortunately. But so I got these because they grew really well, and they're like my favorite winter squash. And I hear a little pitter patter coming down the stairs, so let me check on my kids. My daughter needed a little snack. So now, continuing, my biggest order was from, I didn't even save, these are from Urban Farmer. So I have San Marzano tomatoes, super sweet 100 tomatoes, more San Marzano black cherry tomatoes, Amish paste tomatoes. I'm trying to think how to word this. So San Marzanos are similar to like Roma tomatoes, and Amish paste tomatoes are similar to those as well. The Roma shape. So they're really good for sauces. So I really like the San Marzanos in my pasta sauce, but I wanted to try Amish paste because apparently they make a really good tomato. So I have a couple of those. Mortgage lifter tomato. So this is a it's like a beefsteak tomato. I grew a beefsteak last year, and so I got another one, hot and happy pepper seeds. So this is just a variety of pepper seeds. I don't know if I'm really going to be selling these, but I like spicy, so I wanted some hot peppers. These are just red bell peppers, large leaf basil, cilantro, slow bolt, because it gets hot here, and I don't want to risk these bolting, so I got slow bolt. Red Russian kale. I grew red Russian kale last year, and I really liked it, and so I'm going to be growing just larger quantities of all these kales and see if they sell. If they don't, then my freezer will be chock full of kale for us to eat in smoothies and soups. This is dino kale. Curly kale, which is the normal kale that you see everywhere. More green romaine, red romaine, and there's 500 of each of those. Eggplant, collards, which I only got one package. I'm not even going to plant all 1,000 of these. I'm going to be planting a small amount, but I just wanted a variety of greens to sell. Onion, and I got 3 different onions. So this is like green onions, bunching onions. These are like, yeah, white onions as you see on there. Here's red onions. And then here's my regular carrots. And these are like the most regular orange carrots you could possibly get. So I wanted stuff that's recognizable in them, and then I wanted some unique stuff. So this is just regular cabbage and red cabbage. And again, I do a lot of fermenting, so if they don't sell, I'll be using them anyway in fermenting. And this is a Chinese cabbage for kimchi and to sell. Dill, parsley, lavender, lemon balm, also known as Melissa, peppermint, and a lot of these, I'm going kind of fast, but a lot of these are for companion plant. All of these are for companion planting, but they also are going to go into some stuff that I'm going to make as well. But mint is a really good companion planting for the fruit. Oh my goodness, the fruit trees that we already have out. So I'm going to be doing that. For that, borage is also a really nice companion plant, as well as the lavender and the Melissa and all the herbs. So this is going to go out front because it has a pretty blue flower, so it'll break up all the other colors of the flowers. Like I'm going to be growing calendula, which we haven't gotten to yet, but calendula has a yellow flower. And my snapdragons are going to be, like red and yellow and pink. So it'll be like a nice little blue that I don't think I have in any other. Rue is another thing that's like going to be a good companion plant. Here's the calendula, which is, they're great for making things as well as companion plants. Ooh, sunflowers. Sugar peas, more peas, different kinds of peas, cucumber. So I got a bunch of cucumbers. So this is just a pickling cucumber. This is the regular cucumbers you buy in the store for like 50 cents each kind of cucumber. Lemon cucumber, because they seemed interesting and they're just a different shape. and marigolds, which are beautiful. And this is a mix, so they're gonna be a small variety of colors, but they're also a great companion plant. And nasturtiums, also a great companion plant. And we are in the home stretch, the last little bit. So some beets. I love beets, and I think beets might be a decent seller at a farmer's market. We'll find out. I will be keeping a spreadsheet, like a running sheet of how much I bring to farmer's market, what sells, so that next year I can fine tune it. But I love beets, so if they don't sell, they'll still get used. Different kind of beet. White icicle radish. So these are really good for deterring certain bugs, like squash beetles and stuff like that. So these are going to be planted amongst my pumpkins and my watermelons and that kind of stuff. So they'll help deter some bugs. So these are going to basically just be companion plants, but I might pick some along the way. We'll see, but I'd rather keep them for companion planting. Another type of radish. And now Easter egg radish. I bought a bunch of different radishes just for fun, but radishes are very quick growing, so I'm going to be doing this alternating thing with greens and radishes. So once radishes are done, greens will be planted in their place, and greens grow pretty fast. So I bought a bunch of both to go back and forth kind of thing. Cauliflower, just to see how it grows. We'll see. Zinnia, another flower. These are cut and come again, and so I can cut them and decorate my house with beautiful fresh flowers or whatever, but these will go in the front with the rest of the flowers. This is Swiss chard. It's already open because unfortunately it came opened, and I was able to save probably 90% of the seeds from the box. They're pretty big. I'm not sure if you've ever seen Swiss chard, but they're pretty big. They're big like beet seeds. So they look almost exactly like beet seeds. So they were not difficult to save. If they were tiny, I would have called the company, but where I could save majority of them, I was just like, I'm not going to worry about it. And then some, so this is just green chard, and this is rainbow chard. And last but not least, these are, oh no, there's two more. So this is a melon, and this is also, so I'm growing two other melons. I forgot that I had bought these ones, but this looked really interesting. We'll see how well it grows, but it's a banana melon. So that's all the seeds I have. Hopefully this was interesting enough. Thank you for watching this video. If you made it this far, I really appreciate it. If not, then you won't be seeing this anyway. But I hope you have a great week, and I'll see you in the next video. Bye!